guys. Um, I want to talk about something. You know, I've been watching wrestling for quite a while and shit like that, and I haven't really been keeping up to dates of wrestling and all that shit. But I want to talk about Roman Reigns versus The Rock. Um, I just don't care for it at all. I just don't I just don't care for it at all. I don't. I really don't care for it because because people seem to forget that we waited for a long time just to have Roman Reigns be heel, mainly because Vince and other people in WWE were desperately trying to make a John Cena 2.0, desperately, and that was failing so much. Why do you think WWE still doesn't want a Daniel Bryan situation anymore? You guys forgot about that? Don't forget about that. You guys know I'm mentioning it in this channel. Okay. This company, man, I've talked, I'm going to expose more about this company soon in my other channels, my spiritual enlightenment channels. So look forward to that when I ever share it here. I won't post it, but I'll share it in the community section. You guys, with the whole other stuff. Yeah. I'm not going to mention it here, but when I do make a video about it, I'll let you guys know. I got you. Because these motherfuckers need to be exposed of how piss motherfucker piece of shit they are. But moving on. Moving on. This whole thing with WWE versus Roman Reigns versus The Rock, it's just dumb. It really is dumb. Um in my opinion, what they should do is that this is what they should do. If you're gonna have Rock versus Roman and you hype it up, I think this is hilarious in my opinion if they do this. If they don't, they don't. But I think they should do this because please do something new. What are you gonna do? You're gonna have Roman Reigns and Rock talk beef, and The Rock is not gonna be there until the last moments to leading up to WrestleMania, or they're gonna have like a stare down and then beat up each other. Then a whole bunch of people in the locker room come out and try to separate it, or Roman Reigns knocks The Rock down and then holds the title up in the air and then cuts or some shit like that. Like, come on, come on. Most people are like, then what do you want? You know what I would like to see? If The Rock became heel. If The Rock decided to join forces with his cousin. Wouldn't that be awesome? Wouldn't that be awesome? I think that would be awesome. Most people are like, no, I don't want that. Shut up. That would be awesome, to be quite honest. We all know that would be awesome. Don't say no, it wouldn't. Have you forgotten how awesome The Rock is as a heel? Come on, man. Come on. We need it. We need it, to be honest. And he could be right next to Roman Reigns. He doesn't have to do much. He doesn't even have to talk, to be honest. No, that's just a what if thing. You don't have to do that. The other thing that they should do, in my opinion, if they don't do it, then okay, then. But what they should do is this if they have the match, have it in the middle of the pay per view. Then people will be like, why is it happening in the middle of the pay per view? I thought this was the main event. What the fuck going on? It'd be more hilarious if it was the beginning of the pay per view. But you have um you have the match in the middle of the pay-per-view, right? And The Rock just lays down 1, 2, and 3. Roman Reigns wins. And then it was like, what the fuck's going on? Everyone just felt like they just got duped and shit like that. And then The Rock is laughing, and then Roman Reigns and The Rock shake hands and hug and start laughing and start sticking up the middle finger or start raising their hand to the crowd, and the crowd is just pissed off, throwing shit, pissed off and booing at them. Come on, guys. That sounds awesome in my opinion. I want to see that shit. I want to see that shit. That sounds more intriguing to me than Roman Reigns versus The Rock. There has to be something with this shit. Okay? Oh, but most people are like, but there has to be a title match. Oh, there will be. Whoever wins the Royal Rumble match. Okay? I was thinking of Cody because I think Cody's going to win the Royal Rumble match. I don't know what's really happening with Cody at WWE right now, but I think he's going to win the Royal Rumble. That's just me. But if he doesn't win the Royal Rumble, then I don't know who else is going to win. The only person I can think of this year winning the Royal Rumble is Cody. It makes sense. He came back to WWE and he's doing all this stuff, so most likely he's going to win it. If he doesn't, he doesn't. So, but whoever wins the Royal Rumble will take the place of The Rock, and The Rock will be at ringside trying to fuck over the person that's trying to win the championship, whoever that person may be. That'd be good. That'd be cool. And make it like if you wanted to, make it no disqualification match, no or make it false count anyways, basically. Do something. Make a match something like that so The Rock can like make it into a match that you'd be like, oh shit, not The Rock can interfere. Don't make it into a normal match. If you make it into a normal match, yes, you still have that feeling that yeah, The Rock can interfere, but make it so that even if the referee sees him does it, you can't end the match. I want shit like that because it's more emphasis. It's more emphasis of like, holy shit, this person that's fighting Roman Reigns has a lot of shit stacked up against them. I think that would be awesome. I don't know, me just think gets me giddy and chattily inside, which is something that I haven't felt about wrestling in a long time. Okay? Should they do this? Look, if they don't do it, I'm not going to be pissed off or anything like that. But is it a great opportunity for them to do it? Fuck yes. At the grandest stage of them all, sticking up the middle finger to everybody? Holy, come on, guys. Roman Reigns will be more over here that most people will be like, oh, he doesn't need it. No, I think he does. I think he does. The reason I say I think he does is because I really don't give a shit about the whole thing of The Rock versus Roman Reigns. Make me give a shit. Make me give a shit. Because to be quite honest, guys, I wanna ask you this. Don't the reason I point this out is because don't think that they won't try to make another Rock versus Roman too. Because for example, if they don't do the plan that I pointed out and it that makes money as shit, they will make another one. They will fight again, most likely. Makes sense, right? For crying out loud, there's already rumors that they were making a fucking another Godzilla versus Kong movie. So look at that. Because money's money. When people like shit, people like shit. That is if they don't take my idea. And then you could have that whole scenario of The Rock happen at this WrestleMania, him becoming heel, then branching that out more into their next year's WrestleMania. I don't know. I mean, this is a great opportunity, guys, to like expand it more. You've been expanding this since The Rock came to Roman Reigns' aid to raise his hand up at the Royal Rumble and people were booing the shit out of him. Remember that? I remember that. I made a YouTube video about it. Once Daniel Bryan left that arena, the Rumble died. The Rumble died. Because Vince McMahon and everyone thought, or at least Vince thought, yes men behind Vince thought Roman Reigns was ready around that time. And that's what killed it, to be honest. All of this stuff that Roman Reigns is doing now, to be quite honest, like it's great. I'm not saying it's bad, but the whole thing of him fighting The Rock, I just don't give a shit. I just don't give a shit. Because the way WWE has betraying Roman Reigns, if you've been looking back and then looking at now with the character wise, you just like you're looking at the character and you're like, it's nice that you're badass and cool, but if you fight your cousin now in this state, I just don't give a shit. I really don't give a shit. Maybe I would have gave a shit more for you a few years ago if they made you heel instead of Seth Rollins. Nothing against Seth Rollins, but if they made him heel, I would have been like, okay, we can get The Rock versus Roman whenever he gets the title, then drops it, then it's like, you know what, I'm sick of this, and then everyone compares me to my cousin or some shit like that. And you don't have to do that like fast. You could just wait it out for a few years. You don't have to expand it to make it like 8 years and shit. Make it like 2 or 3 years after after the whole thing, after Roman Reigns turns heel, after some shit like that, like if he hits Seth Rollins and shit. That's just an example. If he turned heel around that time, that's the thing. You guys, we, I'm finally. This is the best part about wrestling fans. This is the best part about being a wrestling fan in general. When you look back at things and you look at it now, does it hold up and is it still valid? To be quite honest, some of that stuff that happened that I just pointed out could have been good, could have been still valid, and look at that back and be like, holy shit, that was more emphasized of that, and it was more powerful basically. Now that you just look at it and be like, yeah, that was cool, but now that you look at it, it doesn't affect anything that's happening now. It's nothing. It's bullshit. We don't want bullshit. That's why I stopped watching WWE, man. All right, I stopped watching WWE like last year because I was just done. I was just done, and they killed it even more with the whole Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin. That match right there, that match right there, literally just put the nail in the coffin for me a little bit more. Like that was the biggest nail of the coffin. That was just like, because most people might be like, really that match? Why that match specifically? Something in that match, guys, broke me. I saw a wrestler that could have had the opportunity to fight John Cena and go out pretty good, pretty fine. Maybe not the best, but pretty good and pretty fine. And they didn't thought about it. So they just throw him there with a generic wrestler that no one doesn't give a fuck about. Nothing against him, but no one doesn't give a fuck. And then all of a sudden, he does a flip. Everyone gets excited. He misses, pins him 1, 2, 3. If you ever want to talk about how WWE is such, oh, they don't they don't hold grudges. No, they do. They do. They have proved it. They say they don't, but action speaks louder than words, motherfucker. And you guys have shown you do keep grudges. And it's fucking disgusting. You guys are supposed to be a company, but you guys act this way, like children. I'm surprised you. Apparently, your parents need to be dug up from the grave so they can smack your ass a whole bunch of fucking times to make sure you know what the fuck is up. But even that's not a thing because I know in a spiritual enlightenment way, you guys are not what you look like, basically. But I don't have to talk about it here. It's just I don't really give a fuck about all of this shit with WWE. I mean, with the Roman Reigns versus Rock. You know, I just got to get my feelings out here with WWE, man. Mainly because in the spiritual enlightenment way too, I have to let it out mainly because this is done. It's basically done. You guys can live your life right now, chill and shit like that, but this shit's done. It's done. It's over. It's done. It is. It's done. And if you don't believe me even more, look at the whole thing with Saudi Arabia and China. I'm dead serious. This is not a political thing, but if you guys think that nothing's happening at all, or you think I'm bullshitting, look at the whole thing with China and Saudi Arabia. The United States was trying to be friends with the Saudis, and now look what happened. That's the story that they're trying to convey and try to tell you, but there's more to it. But I'm not trying to tell you that. That's another story for another day. But you should pay attention to that crap. But moving on, this WWE stuff with Roman Reigns and The Rock, it should be something that is phenomenal and should be fucking fantastic. And I should be hyped for it. I should be fucking up to the wall being like, yes, I can't wait for this shit. But I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I've been with WWE with the downs and the lows, man. I've been with WWE with things that have tragically happened. I've been with WWE when people have left and people, you know those people that you thought that they were wrestling fans, but they're not, but they still know about wrestling. You know, they just watch it because it's cool. They like it. They don't watch it all the time, but hey, if you watch it, they might watch it with you. Something like that, which is fine. It's like watching another show. And that's what it is. It is. At the end of the day, WWE is a show and a stage. All right. Same thing like real life, like on the news and shit. But no one doesn't want to. It's funny because there is a YouTuber. I forgot the YouTuber's name, but there's a YouTuber out there that literally admitted that the media in WWE's fan base is not that different. They're very similar. Like if you look at the crowd, that's the media, and how WWE is also like the media. And I'm just like, you're not wrong. Basically, the crowd of people is the ward, and WWE is the the rich people that or are corrupt and all that shit. The media and shit. The crowd is us, while the worldwide people and the the owners of the company are literally like the media and shit. I've been seeing that for a long time, and a lot of people don't see that shit. And I'm just like, I mean, some people see it, but some people that are hardcore wrestling fans just do not want to see it because they don't want to fathom the fact that that their company is a fucking pathetic piece of shit, and they don't want to fathom too that their wrestler that they love is a fucking piece of shit. They don't want to fathom that, but they will fathom the lies that they were told about, and then move on with their life, not investigating themselves, but yet listen to the oh no, listen to the professionals, motherfucker. How come you can't be a professional yourself? Be your own detective, be your own investigator. That's a skill that you can gain for yourself. It's like cooking, a skill that you gain for yourself. You see shit like that, people be like, "Oh, that's stupid." But other people will look at you and be scared of you because you'd be like, "Oh no, that's a smart motherfucker." You have to be smart around here, guys. Can't be dumb. People will take advantage of you with that shit. Okay? So, and that's how WWE treats their own fan base, like stupid idiots. And I look at you guys and I'm like, guys, you should be really pissed off right now. And all of you guys are like, and I'm like, if WWE pissed in your face or pissed in your fucking soda, you would still drink it. You would still say, may I have more? And let me say this right now. Some of you wrestling fans are literally robots, man. Zombies. Slaves, actually. That's what zombies actually mean. Zombies mean slaves, if you actually don't know that. Yeah. So all these zombie movies, they're actually just slaves. Look, once you become a slave to companies like WWE, man, especially how the wrestlers have become too, you just notice. You notice how these wrestlers become. If you don't notice how these wrestlers become, then you don't understand the whole situation with Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit. There, I said it, and not what they told you on screen. Because there's a reason why the TV is called television. That's not something that people just made up. It's literally in the name of television. You can't spell television without saying tell tell a lie. Come on, people. But that's as far as I'm going to get. Because if I keep going, this video will not be uploaded. Because if I keep going with that shit, My whole channel would be cut. I'm saying this right now. My whole channel would be cut. That's how deep this rabbit hole shit bullshit goes. And then, look, I know some people might say, what does this have to do with The Rock and Roman Reigns? To be honest, it does go with it a little bit, mainly because you're supposed to care for this situation that's happening between two cousins, right? But we don't give a fuck about it. Isn't that in a way the same scenario of certain things that are happening to some of these wrestlers in WWE? Some people might care, but overall, no one's not doing nothing about it. No one doesn't give a fuck about it. So we just continue on mindlessly, while people that are smart are just gonna like leave off and be like, you know what? I might come back a little bit, but overall, I'm done. I'm like done, 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 like done, done. Like I don't even want to. Like I don't even want to buy your games. I don't want to buy you much. Like I don't care. Like fuck you. You're done. Like done. That's how I feel about this storyline too. Like you have all of this shit and it's bullshit. It is. It's bullshit. And what's the whole point of the hype? And look, I know someone is going to be like, dude, they haven't really promoted it yet. Basically, there's probably hints, most likely because I'm watching a just Alex video, but there are hints, like basically, and there's always been hints anyways. But overall, a lot of people might say, dude, they haven't really hyped this up, so there's no really point to this video probably, but it still needs to be said. I think it still needs to be said because some wrestling fans out here, not all of them, it's not all of you. It's not, let me say that right now, it's not all of you. But some of these wrestling fans are just outright fucking stupid. And the reason I say that, the reason it pains me to say that, is because when I say that shit, wrestling fans like me don't want to be associated with people like you. Because when we find shit out about wrestling, and we find out shit about the wrestlers and what they go through and how shit is fucked up, we get ridiculed. You say conspiracy theorists, and I'm like, what are you talking about? That's not conspiracy. What is a conspiracy is that they're hiding it. That's a conspiracy. Telling you the truth is not a conspiracy. The fuck is wrong with you? Just because it's not out there known doesn't mean it's not true. It's because you haven't found it. And just because someone went up to you and gave you that information doesn't mean they're not lying. Okay? Aren't should wrestling fans already know this by now? When it comes to like stuff that they hear rumors in WWE and shit like that, all the stuff that we hear about Vince, and all the stuff we hear about with Vince and his mama, and all the shit that we hear about backstage of how some of these women wrestlers were treated. You think all of that? Uh-uh. Uh-uh. We all knew that that shit was true, and eventually it all came out. And some of it still hasn't came out, and some of it will come out. And it's not done, to be honest. The whole thing with the allegation with Vince McMahon and shit like that. Oh yeah, by the way, that shit's not done. It's not. There's more coming. There's more coming. Just wait. Just wait. Just sit tight, relax, and get prepared because there's more to come. A lot more. But who even knows, man? Because I don't want to get to it. But all I know is that this whole thing with Roman Reigns and Roman Reigns and The Rock just reminds me of just a lot of shit how I feel about WWE and what they've been going through over the years and how obviously they're a shadow of how the world is right now. They've always been that way. Always, 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 always. It's just that when you have a crowded room of people that don't notice that at all, that's a problem. The reason I say that is because that is how dumb they think you are, and that's how dumb some people think wrestling fans are. And it pains me to say that because I'm a wrestling fan, and I don't want to tell people that I'm a wrestling fan, and all of a sudden people think that I have an IQ of literally nothing. We wrestling fans go through a lot, and you and I know this shit. We do. We go through a lot. For crying out loud, the news always talks shit about wrestling. It's always like that. Okay? It's funny. When a wrestler dies, they always be like, oh, it's steroids. Remember that? Remember that? Remember that? It's never depression. It's never with alcohol. It's never with certain things that they've done. It's always, oh, steroids. 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 Steroids does a lot, apparently, doesn't it? It's like the same shit in Hollywood when all these young celebrities die. Oh, a heart attack, a heart attack, a heart attack, a heart attack. Overdose, 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 overdose. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Okay? Seriously. As a wrestling fan, how many times, like, if you care about this Roman Reigns and Rock shit, that's fine. But how many times you could get stabbed in the toe so much before there's not even a toe anymore? You know? Do you care about Roman Reigns versus The Rock? I know I got on a tangent with certain things here, but some of it need to be said. That's how I am as a YouTuber. And that's how I am as a person that loves wrestling. This shit needs to be said. And I can't go more deep into it in this video because holy shit. Not because we'll be here all day, it's because this won't be uploaded. It won't be. Trust me, it won't be. That's how fucked up WWE is. And that's how fucked up the wrestling business is. You think the boxing business is fucked up? Oh, you're cute. You're cute. You're cute. You're cute. Compared to boxing, that shit's literally a walk in the park. And we all know everything about boxing is fucked up. Don't say that you don't know. We all know. We all know. It's not a secret. For crying out loud, back then wrestling used to be like that, and you guys know this shit. For example, if back then everyone thought wrestling was real back then, right? So if someone betted on a wrestler that was a heel and he was supposed to lose because he's a bad guy, and the person that betted on a bad guy loses money, what's gonna happen? Come on, man. Like, obviously, there's obviously shit like that can't happen now. You know, I'm not saying it can't, but shit like that can't really happen now as it was back in the day, like it was with boxing. And with boxing, that still is a thing. Yes, it is. Just because it ended with wrestling doesn't mean it stopped. Or just because it's been a hush hush doesn't mean it stopped. That's the one thing I need to tell some wrestling fans too. Like, just because you haven't heard any of these women wrestlers getting through certain terrible stuff doesn't mean they're not going through it still. But everyone wants to suck WWE's ass and be like, no, they're trustworthy. They got the best medical system and all that shit. I'm like, yeah, all that stuff. But yet, you didn't help CM Punk. Then he went to another doctor and he got cured for that bump day he had. And they literally told him that if he kept having that bump, he would literally die. You could say anything about you want with CM Punk, but that right there, that should have told you everything about WWE. The incompetence they fucking have. They don't fucking like you. They just gonna run off at you, ride you off as like annoying or you just talking too much. Like, oh, shut the fuck up, walk it off. Here, take some pills. Imagine CM Punk having that fucking ball on his fucking back and pain and shit back in the fucking 70s and 60s and shit. When wrestlers had to fucking take steroids and shit and be their own doctor. Do you guys process this? By talking to these dumb wrestling fans. Cause I tell you, it can't be all of you. It can't be. And if it is, then you know what? I'm glad I'm not a wrestling fan anymore then. Because all of you, if all of you are this fucking retarded and dumb, then why should we put our energies into this shit? Why are you a wrestling fan to begin with? I thought wrestling fans were supposed to be smart, to be quite honest. I remember a time when I was a kid, well, a teenager actually. Remember there was a time when I thought wrestling fans were actually really, really fucking smart. But all they know is the wrestling basis. And if you find out anything underneath that destroys the top basis, oh, they don't want to touch it because the childhood. Or oh, I can't see the company being corrupt that way, so I'm going to hide it. I'm going to put it under the bed, hide it under the table, and then guess what happens? The company does the same shit. We are responsible, motherfuckers. We all responsible, guys. We all responsible. Don't tell me that we're not. We all responsible. You mean to tell me if you see a wrestler in distress, you're not gonna say anything? Nowadays, people do say something. Sometimes if a wrestler or someone says something online, there's always people who be like, "Yo, here, don't do that" or some shit like that. There's always good people like that. But at the same time, some people don't get that. And at the same time, too, a lot of shit back in the day was like that. There was no internet, yes. But back in the day, shit was like that, fucked up, and no one couldn't get the help they want because either no one didn't listen, they didn't want to get in trouble, or they just didn't want to ruin the reality that they were in because they wanted to be in an illusion that they thought was real. It's like Undertaker. It's like Undertaker going to a casket and then the casket becomes on fire. Was that real or was it an illusion? Ah, but you thought it was real, right? Then it did its job. You see? You see? You guys, what do you think I pointed this stuff out? To plant the seeds in your head to literally grow, being like, holy shit, the wrestling shows or the wrestling events and shit like that, or like the Truman Show. And the Truman Show is the wrestling shows or the Truman Show, and it's reflecting real life. So real life is also the Truman Show. That's what I'm talking about. So, what do you think I mentioned earlier that at one point I thought the wrestling fans were the most smartest fans. Now all of a sudden you guys are just stupid? What happened? What the fuck happened to you guys? I'm serious. I remember one time like if we pointed stuff out, other people would be like, you know what? You know what? I didn't see it before, but the more you mention it, you know, I see it. And fuck, man, what the fuck? You know? And then we said something and shit actually did change because we said something. Now we don't say nothing at all and shit doesn't change. Why do you think WWE is the way there is now? Why do you think they don't want to change it right now? Why would they change it if they make all this money? Why would they stop going to Saudi Arabia if they're making blood money? That's another thing that people like. At this point, we should be stop watching WWE. To be quite honest with you, once they started doing that Saudi Arabia stuff, and it became what it became, you know, people were like, I don't know. But then when what happened, people were like, no more. Especially if you kept getting that blood money. See, you guys know what to do. It's just you guys don't put your full effort into it because you guys are scared to realize that WWE is really fucked up. And I'm not talking about, oh, I'm a corrupt business person, ha 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 type of way. No, I'm talking about fucked up, fucked up. Like politician type of fucked up. For crying out loud, Vince's woman is part of the politician stuff. And Vince got allegations. He's friends with Trump. This is not a political thing. This is just realistic, motherfuckers. Put the pieces together. And I'm not saying motherfuckers to all of you. I'm just to the people that are ignorant and just don't want to understand. But if you understand, you got that click in your brain. Guess what? You are the better person. You are the good ones. You are. All right. That just tells me right there that wrestling in weight still has a chance. Could be good again. Make wrestling fucking awesome again. And the thing is, when we go to the indie scene, there's some great stuff because it's fun. They want to have fun. I seen a fucking clip where there's a fucking wrestling, a dog wrestling, and the crowd is going ape shit for it. I'm talking about like wrestling doesn't have to be sometimes all about wrestling. All right, sometimes you get that and it's awesome and we will love it, you know. But it's still about having fun and entertaining people too. It's a stage at the end of the day. You're making a show about it. You know, you have characters that have motivations. Come on, you know. This whole thing goes back to fucking Rome, Egyptian, the Mayans, Mesopotamia. Come on, man. This shit goes back way back. You know? And that's the thing, we need to go back to our roots. We need to know our roots about wrestling again, man. Seriously. With the good and the bad. That way we can understand with when the bad does come. That way we don't have to go through that or be naive when it does happen. Or be in that illusionist stage of like, no, I don't think that's real because I like it so much. I was in that stage before, people. When I started waking up and I started seeing the bullshit, to be honest, this is a personal thing, but when I started seeing the bullshit, I literally tried to convince myself saying that, oh, that doesn't happen with WWE. It happens with other shit, but WWE, no, they're fine. I I I tried to convince myself that that was that, and I'm here to tell you, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Don't try to convince yourself like that. You will hurt yourself. You will. You will hurt yourself, and you will smack yourself. You will shoot yourself in the foot. To be quite honest, because looking back at it now, I should have probably most likely stopped watching WWE before that whole Code Angle stuff happened. Him fighting, um, what is it? Baron Corbin. So anyway, it was my fault. I probably shouldn't have felt that emotion, but it happened. So, and this video went long as it is, but hey, fuck it. Who cares? I know some people like it. My subscribers like it, and if you like it too, if you're new, then I appreciate you. Thank you for watching my stuff. Um, so that's really it. If you're excited for The Rock and Roman Reigns, go ahead and be excited. Just know that there's some people out here that really just don't care. And we all feel different things of why. It's just my reason why. I just don't care because WWE literally killed the love of wrestling for me. They killed it. They killed it. It took many tries and many years, but they killed it. They literally killed it. They did. I can't watch anything about wrestling anymore. I can't. I just can't. And the thing is too, I'm not I'm not pissed at the company because these are companies. You suspect them to be fucking gutty pieces of shit. What made me back off is the fan base. You guys literally made me feel sorry for you guys. It made me feel like not worthy and pathetic. And I look at you guys as like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like when I backed off from the wrestling fan base and I looked at you as a under at when I look back and I look at that umbrella, basically, I'm looking at all of you guys and I'm like I at one point I started crying because I started thinking too much and I was just like, you guys don't know what I see. If you guys knew what I see, you guys won't be looking at the wrestling business the way we used to. Well, at least what I used to. Or what you used to. I mean, well, what you are looking at it now, actually. Some of us have been different with wrestling over the years, yes. But when you finally see the light, the true truth stuff about wrestling, not just with WWE, just with wrestling in general, you look at these wrestlers and you look at the business and you be like, what the fuck you had to go through just to be on television, just to be famous, just to be The Undertaker, just to be Batista, just to be a John Cena, just to be a Shawn Michaels. What did you do just to be that? Because I know it wasn't hard work. I say that right now. There's plenty of people out here that have bust their ass for years. And they die in their deathbed with nothing. And if you tell me that that's their fault, then motherfucker, you're living somewhere of a privileged life. Somehow. Seriously. Seriously. It's like the whole thing with She-Hulk. When She-Hulk mentioned, oh yeah, I don't want to get kidnapped or gunned down or some shit like that, when she mentioned that, so many people bashed that and shit like that. And I'm just like, you bashing it because you live in a suburb probably a suburb neighborhood, or you probably live somewhere that does that shit doesn't happen. Good for you, you fucking uncultured swine, first of all, and second of all, you're a misguided piece of shit. Seriously. That's why that's why when people talk shit about the She-Hulk show, I'm looking at them like, yeah, whatever, dude, whatever. Like, I don't want to listen to your bullshit. She-Hulk is actually has its flaws, yes, but overall, holy shit, that ending was great. Fuck anyone that hated that ending. Fuck you. That shit was amazing. All right. So, But the reason I pointed that out with the She-Hulk stuff is because it's true. People act that way, and it's just so fucking stupid. And wrestling, and now again going back, not all wrestling fans are like this, but a lot of you all act. A lot of you do act that way. All right. You look at something like, for example, She-Hulk, and you'd be like, "Oh, yeah, you go through that, whatever, and shit like that." And I'm just like, you say that because you never experienced that shit. Other people that live in bad neighborhoods or neighborhoods that probably that happens to people. You fucking again misguided piece of shit. It's so fucked up that people can be this stupid and misguided. Not because they want, not because you know, not because some of the wrestling fans and all that, not because they're WWE and all that. It's because they're doing it to themselves too. Not because of media and all that stuff. They're doing it to themselves too. Media is just there to literally to be like, oh, it's just basically dangling a carrot, and if you grab that carrot, that's your fault because you got basically you were paying attention to the carrot too much. While that carrot was waving, they could have been doing something in the background that you did not know. Or where's my money? Yeah, they took your money from your bank account. You didn't notice because they waved a carrot at you to be distracted. That's how WWE is, man. And that's how a lot of things are here, or to be honest, guys. So, but I'm not getting deep into that. I just want to mention that for wrestling fans in general. All right. There's a lot of great wrestling fans out here. All right. But you guys need to look at some of these people that are in the wrestling business and also the ones that are out of the wrestling business and were part of the wrestling business. You need to look at them too and be like, are you actually saying what you're saying? Or are you just making up shit just to get on the good graces with some wrestling companies and also not get in trouble by certain people that will go after you and literally mafia your ass? You you know? And when you mention that to people, people will just laugh and think like, yeah, of course WWE's like that, and I'll be like, maybe not directly WWE, but they know people, and then even those people they're all scared of because they can take their business like that. Like CM Punk said, Vince McMahon is a millionaire, but he should be a trillionaire. Why he's not a trillionaire? How come he's not part of the royal family? He's friends with them, but how come he's not a part of them? You see? You see? At the end of the day, when the royal family cares about their family, it's fine that you're friends, but if you're not family, they're not gonna help you. They don't like to help. They don't even like to help their own family. They like to help themselves. That's another story for another day. All right. I just think that that's hilarious because people that love WWE so much would never. Some of them would never find that out or don't want to find that out because they want to be ignorant. I don't know why you want to be ignorant. It going back, it's like the childhood type of thing. Like it's like, oh, I don't want to see it because oh god, it hurts so much. Okay, I feel you, to be honest, because I've been through that before. But at the same time, we gotta grow up. We gotta look at it because that's the thing. You can't ignore it because it becomes a bigger problem soon. Look at the whole thing with Vince. And I bet you anything right now with the whole allegations with Vince and stuff like that. I bet you anything with that is going to get even more deeper with other things with Vince, and it's just going to snowball into a lot of shit. Don't be surprised if Linda McMahon stops doing the whole um thing. Don't be surprised if she stops doing the whole media touring and all that stuff, trying to be what is it, a governor or some shit. I don't know what she's trying to be. Who cares what Linda's trying to be? But don't be surprised if she steps down at that role. But so most people be like, oh, but she was in office with Trump and shit like that. Well, not anymore because we got a new president or some shit like that. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? It's just like Roman Reigns versus The Rock. Who cares? Give me something new. Like The Rock turning heel and sticking up the middle finger to the crowd and shit like that. That sounds something that I would like to see. The Rock joining Roman Reigns and shit like that. I would like to see that. I would like to see that. Could we get that? Could we get that? You could still do Rock versus Roman, but that right there, what I mentioned, you could do that and then do the whole fight next year. To be honest, to me, that right there we would be better. Why it would be better? Because you're hyping it a little bit more. And then this time, it's so much more that you might think that The Rock might win. Because this match just tells me, because if look, at least that with the other part, yes, Roman might still win because obviously Rock is not gonna stay. But also, at least it will give you in the back of the mind that maybe Rock could win. You know? Because with this, you'd be like, Roman Reigns is just gonna win. So why is this match? Why should I care for this match? At least if you did what you did here, like you made him heel, then he works with Roman, and then eventually, slowly, he does not. Then eventually, he just turns away with Roman. There you go. You know? And instead of, and at the end of it, if you still want, you can have Roman become a good guy. Like, at the final moments when the Rock versus Roman happens, like, you could do the whole thing where the Rock comes in as a baby face because, um, because he betrayed his cousin that was a dick, basically. And then Roman comes in as a heel, and then by the end of it, Rock is a heel and Roman is a babyface. Again, there's so many things you could do here, man. And then The Rock just leaves as a heel, back to Hollywood as a bad guy. That's it. And people miss that anyways. People want The Rock to be a Hollywood bad guy again, anyways. It makes sense. It does. I don't know why we didn't get him when he fought John Cena. Because I think that would have been the better version of The Rock to come back, to be quite honest with you. That's just me, looking back at it now. Definitely would make the match more hyping, even though, you know. But I'll see you guys later. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you guys think about what I said in this video. And hey, if you disagree with the whole thing with the whole Roman Reigns and um The Rock, I can understand. Everything else, I don't know what to tell you. Because it's just think, man. Think about how this company is, and think about how life is that literally matches with the life of WWE. It's like part of the same coin, you know. So I'll see you.